Okay, so welcome everybody. Let me switch on my video. Okay, so if you can hear me, let me know if you can hear me. You can put it in the chats on WhatsApp. We are going to be combining WhatsApp chat and Teams together. So Edward and Salman, if you can hear me, just type it on WhatsApp that you can hear me. Then I will know. So I should know that everything is fine. The device are working. There we can start. Okay. Okay, cool. Okay, you can hear me. Okay, that is fine. So we're going to start now because I have a meeting in the next 50 minutes by 4 p.m. So and I have to be in that meeting. So we're going to start now and we start talking about Power BI. So welcome everybody as you're coming in, keep joining in. If you have questions, just type them on WhatsApp. I'll be looking at my WhatsApp to answer your questions. So Power BI, I'll not be doing too many introduction. You're going to be reading most of the introduction on the course that you're already doing, which is the Power Platform Fundamental. So you'll be doing all this introduction. So let's go into the technical aspect. So if you have any questions, just drop it on WhatsApp, then we'll go. So if you need my details, so this is me. Yeah. So I am the Global Cloud Advocate Power BI. I'm Microsoft, and we'll be working through the Olympics data. So we'll be using the Olympics data from I think 1890 something down to 2016. So we want to analyze everything that has happened within that period of time. Also on your WhatsApp, you currently have the data location, so you can just download the data. I would love to see what you're going to analyze with that. But let's see what we analyze together using it. So let's see. Let's go to Power BI. So I'm going to run down through what I've done so far. Run down through what I've done so far. So this is Power Query. Um, Power Query is an ETL tool, extract, transform, and load, where you clean your data. So now when you bring in your data, it's better you go to Power Query first. When you go to Power Query, you clean it up. You need to be sure that your data type are correct. You need to be sure that you have the correct set of numbers. So now, how do you start? Let's assume that I want to start for the first time. So now so this is Power BI. So this is how you open Power BI on a normal day when you want to start Power BI. So this is your blank canvas where you build every report that you want to build on Power BI. And you have your get data. So currently, if you see this get data means where am I getting my data from? So you have your different data sources. We have more than 100, 200 data sources that you can connect to and you use to report your data. So if you go to on my left hand side, you see three icons. We have the model view. The first one is your visualization view, where you report view. The second view is your data view, and the third view is your model view, where your relationship are being built. Then we go to the right hand side. Now, in the right hand side is where you have your filter, your visualization, and your fields. Now, your filter is where you can filter a page or filter all the whole pages, or you filter a visualization itself, a visual itself. Then your visualization is this where you pick all your visuals, where you pick all the visuals that you want to use, and you can even add more from it. And your fields is where all your columns, your tables are located. So we are going to be working through everything as time goes on. Now, the next thing you really want to know is that what data are we working on? So one work on the Olympics data, and in the Olympics data, you start from get data. Now in your get data, we are going to click more. So let me come so that you can see. So you see your different type of data sources: Excel, Power BI, data flow, Dataverse. So Dataverse is for the Power Apps. If you have your data set in your Dataverse and you have your SQL, you have analysis service, you have text, CSV, you have web and stuff like that. So if I click more, on Power BI, so I'm still breaking it down a little bit. I just want you to just have an overview of what we're doing. So this is all, it gives you everything that you want, everything, the data sources that are connected directly to Power BI. You have your file, you have database. So anytime you have a data, the first question is where is it stored? So if you stored in SQL, can SQL connect straight to Power BI? If it can connect, then your first problem is solved. So that is how it works. So now, for me to know that you are actually in this class, I'm going to show you a file right now. So if you can see my file right now, I want you to tell me which data source is this. You can type it on WhatsApp. Tell me which data source is this. The first one, the athletics event. Which data source is it? The answers are there already, but so which data source? Type it on WhatsApp. Let me see. Excel, CSV, okay. Excel, CSV, okay, CSV. So it's actually CSV, not Excel. So if you look at it very well, it's not Excel. So it is called Microsoft Excel, comma separated value. CSV full meaning is called comma separated values. So it's not Excel, but most of the time you can open your CSV file in Excel. That is it. You can open it in Excel, but it is what? It is CSV. So now, since we know that our data source is in CSV, so let's go back now to Power BI. So now, right now in Power BI, we'll go here and we'll click our CSV. We'll click CSV. So when we click the CSV, then we click connect. And after we click connect, then it's going to ask us to go and pick our file. So which is this first file that we are picking. That is the main file itself. You can see that it has like 4 MB, 40,000 KB. So that is the main file itself. And we click, we continue, and you take us to the data set. Now, if we're in the data set, this will now be what you will see. Athletic events, this is what you will see. This is our data set. So now, since these are data sets, you now want to check if they are correct. So now one thing is this, your ID. This your ID. You know that your ID is not a number. Anytime it's a number, it means you are adding up that column. If you are not adding up a column, then make sure that it's text. If it is a date, make sure that it is date. It's sure. So what we did here, we have to make sure they are text, because this ID is 1. And if you notice, look at this Christine Jacoba is 5. When it is repeated, it is 5. It means that every number is unique to the name. Every number is unique to the name. So now that is how you go, and you now know that this is an ID. 1 is unique to this person. 2 is unique to this person. 3 is unique to this person. But when it got to 5, it was unique to one person too, but it was repeated. So something like that. If you notice, 6 also is repeated. 7 is repeated. So it means that that same person was repeated. So now this table, it means that we have total record of everybody here that has actually done something across the Olympic in so many years. And you can even see the years. You can see the years. So let's look at the most recent year. See, your year has to start from, I think it started from, let's see, 1896. The year started 1896. That is our first year in the Olympics that we have the data set, 1896. So that means our calculations and everything, you have to you have to understand that you're starting from 1896. Good. Now, what did I do here? They gave us country also. I just brought in country. They gave us the NOC, that is the short code, and also the region. The region majorly is called country, really. You can change it to country or you leave it as region. Then we have gender. Gender is male or female. You have your the meta. Can you please mute, please? Yeah, the medal, you have gold, bronze, silver. Then you might want to ask that, oh, David, why did we have NA? So how do we get the NA? So let's look at it. In the NA, you notice that, you know that people goes to, like Nigeria now. We went to Olympic in 2020. This Olympic that ended yesterday. We didn't bring any, okay, we brought at least 2 medals home. We brought 1 silver and 1 bronze home. So all those NA are people who didn't get any medal at all. They didn't get any medal, but they came for the event. So that is something like that. Then we have the sports. So these are the different sports that actually happened across board. So right now we're having like 66 sports that happened across board. 66 sports. So now let's now go and create our analysis. I have like 30 minutes to create analysis, and we can start asking questions as we go on. Okay, so now since I am in, there's something you might want to know also. Again, it might be where we are trying to do. Let me see, let me show you. It's kind of loading a little bit. Let me see where the issue is coming from. Okay. Sorry. They've taken lights in Nigeria. Sorry. Don't worry. Let me just restructure my presentation. Just give me just 1 minute. Okay, so I am back. Let me just share my screen. Okay, cool. So now I want to show you something. So if you look at the model view, your model view, remember I said that this is where relationships are being created. So now, because of time, you understand something that we call the fact file and the dimension file. Fact file are files that we build every time. So you say fact file comes in every time. So you know the event itself that happened 1986, it definitely is going to happen in the next 4 years. Every 4 years, that file is going to be building every time. So now let's assume now we can go and look for a data set that contains this year, which is 2020 Olympic that just happened. We can just add it together. It's still fact file. It connected because it's going to build. But do you know one thing that will not build? Let's say countries will not build. USA will always be USA. Let's say 60 countries, except maybe another time, one new country joins in the next year Olympic, something like that. So that is something that we'll be doing. Can you please mute, please? Let's have one class. Now, then we have sex, male and female. It doesn't change. Male and female will always be male and female. Then we have our medals. Medals will always be gold, silver, or bronze. It doesn't change. Then the sport also doesn't change, but we can increase the number of sports maybe in 1 year. That is fine, but it's always consistent across. But if you notice, the athletic event itself, we always keep building over time. The names, the people who actually contested in 1900 are not the people who is contesting in 2016. So now that is fact because it's already building every time. But all other ones are actually the dimension. Yeah, the dimension. So let's see. So in the date, actually, we also connected the date also. The date will always be a dimension. Then we have now the different years that are connected. I will not go in depth into this. Let's just see this itself. And let's see how we analyze this report. Now, what type of report do you want to see? You can type it in WhatsApp. Let's see. Let me know if if you're in my class, what type of report do you want to see? Type it in on WhatsApp. Let me know. What type of report do you want to see? So for me, I want to first see how many people do we even have in the database. I want to see that first. How many people do we have in the database? So now for me, that leads us to me calculating, let's say I want to do something, the calculation to add the table entirely. So for me to add the table entirely, there's something that we do, we call it the Dax formula. So the Dax formula means data analysis expression. Good, number of female gold medalists. I like that, Edward. So now we want to look at how many, everybody in the whole table, how many are we? How many is this data set? I want to look at that. So everybody, as you are typing on WhatsApp, please kindly just look at my screen. So I did the calculation, and how did I do the calculation? So I'm going to increase the size so that we'll see. We see it. Okay, good. So now if you look at the total record means count rows equals to, open bracket, the athletic event. So how did I do it? So let me just show you. Now, this is Dax. So we call it measures. Remember that for the table itself, each line is a record of somebody. Each line is a record of somebody. That is row. Each row is a record of somebody. So now I just said, just count the rows. Each of the rows, just count it, and is asking us for table. Which table are we using? We call it the event, the athletic event. That is the table itself that we brought in. So simple, it's just simple, something like that. Simple. It's as simple as that, and that is it. So how many, if you want to know how many, so we can bring in a card visual. Remember I showed you that this is the place that we have the visualization, and one of them is called card visual. So if I bring in a card visual and I say, what is our total record that we have? See it. We have 271 total record. But do you know something? Something is this, is that, remember that we said that in the ID we have, so let me show you. Good, let me even show you from the data view. Let me show you from the data view. You notice that in the ID, you have some of the numbers that were represented 3-4 times. So like this guy here that is called Albert Simon. Albert Simon, this guy, the ID is represented twice. It means that the record means it's duplicating whatever he did. So if like let's say somebody ran in 100 meter, he also ran 200 meters. So he's going to have 2 records. But I want to now know how many individual person, not the count rows. Now I want to know the unique people who came for the whole event, the unique set of people. So if assume that I traveled to 5 countries, but how many people traveled? It's just one person, but it's going to show the record that I traveled to Nigeria, Ghana, USA, India, and let's say Canada, but one person. So the question is, how many person actually came in, did Olympics from 1896 or so. So this is what we are going to do. So now it means unique. So how do you see the function? This is a function, unique participants equals to distinct count, open bracket, athletics event ID. So I'm saying that, see, in this ID, I know that there are some that are duplicated, but I want you to count uniquely for me. Uniquely, remove every duplicate, but I want the unique one. So for you to know that we are correct, how do you know? Now, you need to be very, very, very smart about it, because you have to be very sure about what you're saying. So now if I bring in the unique record, you can see that we have 136K. So we can say that, oh, I want to be able to know I don't want this K. I want to see the numbers itself. So I'm going to go to my format. Don't worry, I know that the recording will be shared, so you will look at it again. You go to display unit, you click none. So can you see it now? Can you see 135,571? That is the number of persons that actually came for Olympic over the years. So this one too, we can also say none, then we click this. So now how do we know that we're sure? So if I go to ID, can you see down a little bit? Look down a little bit. Just look below. Can you see it? So you can see 135,571. So we have to look at it and be sure. Can you see it? 135,571. So something like that. 271,116. So you have to be sure. 271,116. It means that we are correct. It means the total record and the unique are actually correct. So now Edward was saying that how many female gold medalists do we have? How many female gold medalists do we have? So now I've been able to calculate some things when it comes to gold. Remember that in our data set, we have medals and we have three medals. So we want to go and get how many bronze do we really have? Gold, silver. That's what we want to know. So you can't know like this. There's another calculation way that we have to know, we have to use, and we use the calculate function. I want you to really watch the a video on calculate function. I have so many of those videos on my YouTube channel, so you can just watch them and you can see how you use the calculate function. So, but see the way I used the calculate function to find my gold. I said calculate, open your bracket and count. Count, then this, count the whole medal. But when you're counting the medal, please just count the only one that is equals to gold. That's what I did there. I said calculate, count all the whole medals. But as you're counting the whole medals, please count only gold for me. And that's what we have here. And if you can see it now, then now the next thing is that let's know how many females have a gold, how many females have gold. So I'll go to my gender, I'll click sex, yeah. So you can see I have F and M currently right now. Let me just use a bar chart currently, then I go and look for gold. Let me click gold. Good. So now if you look at it now, if you can see my screen, I can now go and say, oh, I want to see the data labels. Good. And in my data label, I want to be able to see the number itself. So now, if Edward is in this call, Edward, can you tell me how many females have the gold now? If you can tell me, let me see. I'm going to know if you're in class.
About 3,743.
Good. Gold. So this is the gold. So now, so I can also go to my title and just change. Let's say I want to change the title so that the title doesn't say gold by sex and it means something else for some people. So I have to just change it to gender. Yeah, gender is fine. So gold by gender. So now this is a simple report that we are doing. Now we're already doing some simple analysis that we are looking at. So now we want to see, okay, what is the representation of male and female over the years? So I want to look at something like that. So I want to say I will bring in male. I'm going to bring in this visualization. So now also I want to bring in male and female. Male and female. I think it's going to be my legend. I want it to be my legend. I want to bring my year. So let me see. Yes. And I want to bring in my total record. So it's going to talk about the participation over the years. Okay, so let me just pick the year from here. Yeah, good. So now, if you look at this now, it's looking somehow, you see it's starting from 1992 and stuff like that. But we want it to sort by year itself. We want it to sort by year. And when it sorts by year, we want it to sort ascending order. So you see from 1989, you see that the years are not coming. No, females are not much, but you can see how it grows. The female are the one in lighter blue. So you can see how they are growing over the years. So this is something that you might want to look at because it shows a whole lot of numbers. And you might want to maybe put in the slicer to be on if you want. and you want to off it. So something like this, and you're already creating your reports as you go on. You can keep writing, asking your questions on WhatsApp. Then we'll keep doing the report. So now, right now, we currently have this record, total record, and we have the participants that we have here. Then the next thing that you might want to look at is, okay, how are the country looking at? So like over here, how are the countries doing over here? We might want to look at that. How are the countries doing over here? So now there's one visualization that you might love to see. It's called the animated bar race. Like 1995 to date. Cool. I like that. So as if you want to restrict it to 1995 to date. See, how do you do that? So see it. So let's say you bring in a slicer, and you bring in here. Let me use this for example. So you bring in here. So can you see? If you can see on my screen now, I can just type 1995 to date. Simple like that. Everything we adjust. Everything immediately we adjust to it. 1995 to date. Or you can now say, okay, so you know what? Let me just bring in the year from the data set itself. Let me see. Okay, so now you can come here and say, okay, or you can even bring it from this page. So let me just say, let me just even delete this. So now, can you see filter on all pages or filter on this page? I can take the year to filter on this page, and I'll say, see, I want you to filter from 1995 till this time. So I can just pick. You said 1995. I don't think there is this thing in 1995, but I know that there is from 1994. So we'll pick 1994, and we'll just start doing it that way, going down. So we just filter by that, something like this. So now all your reports will definitely shift to do that. So now, can you see that? I hope you can see that, Edward. So Abdulaziz said, how do you type Excel command rather than dragging out visualization? Okay, so what do you mean type Excel command? Type Excel command. Is it the DAX that you're talking about, Abdul? Abdu? Is it the DAX you're talking about? Abdu?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So how do you type it? So if you want to type, can you see new measure here? New measure. You can click new measure and start typing. So if I click new measure, let's assume I'm typing new measure. So if I click new measure, so can you see it? I'll just start typing. So let's say I want to calculate, what do I want to calculate? Anything I want to calculate, I can just calculate and just start typing. So that is just the way you type. So it's as simple as that. There's really nothing there. So I just did majorly every DAX, because definitely 1 hour will not be enough for us to start typing all that in class. So something like this, and you see it is growing this way.
So can you spell that?
Can I what?
Spell the DAX.
Spell DAX, DAX, DAX.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so now we want to be able to know how many gold do we have. So we have, let's say we have gold, we drop gold here. Can you see? So this is the gold that we have between 1996, 1994 down now. This is the gold that has been won. Then we want to look at, let's say the silver. And we want to look at, let's say, the bronze. So don't worry, I'm just a little bit fast so that we can look at it. Then bronze, drop the bronze here. Good. So you can now see that you can see the numbers as we go. I will not really do so many designs on it, but you can see it. So now another thing that you might want to look at, is okay, fine. So let's see the countries. We didn't talk about countries. Is it we might want to see let's say the countries a little bit. So what is the country like? Let's see countries. So definitely if you want to do country, it's good for you to have a map visual. a map visual helps you better for countries. Then I go on and go and take a country. And let's say we want to have the unique participant from each country. Location. Good. So you can see it like this now. We have this like this, and you can see the different participation here across board. So anything that you might want to look at. So if you want to look at let's say North America now, can you see USA? USA has participants of 3,244 people across board. So these are the things that you might want to look at. You might want to say, okay, fine, let's look at our top athletes. When since Olympics has started. So what I did when looking at our top athletes since Olympics has started is that you know that we have gold, silver, and bronze. If you have watched Olympic a whole lot of time, in the table itself, when you're looking at the table, let's say the medal table, you see that they add the gold, the silver, and the bronze to give you the total, and that's how you know the leading country. So now what I'm going to do is I want to look at the countries. So if I bring in a table currently, let's say I bring in a table and I go to country. So what I did is that I have added all of them together and I named it medals. I've added the gold, the silver, and the bronze. I named it medals. Then I want to be able to sort by the medals. So you can see USA is the first, followed by Russia. So now it's as simple as that. You just want to see it, just followed by Russia. And we can even go and make sure that you get, if you want to get better insight, you can make sure that your country has a column that has to do with regionals. So what is the region? Let's say Africa, North America, and stuff like that. So you'll be able to slice and say, okay, in South America, how many countries doing well? In Africa, how many countries doing well? In North America, how many countries doing well? In Europe, how many countries are doing well? So these are the ways that you can actually still even improve on your analysis going forward. So this now we can say, oh, okay, we want to just see only, let's say, the top 4 or the top 3. How do you do top 3? Is in filter here. Filter here, you do your top 3 in filter. So I'm going to go to region. Now in region, there's something called basic filtering, but we don't want basic filtering. We want it to filter top N. Now in this top N, you are going to see top and bottom, but we want to see only top. And you said we want to see only the top 3, or let's say the top 4. The top 4 by the medals that have been won. And we click it. See it? Can you see? Now you can see now that you have USA first and stuff like that. So we can come in there and do it. You can see USA, Russia, German, and Australia. Those are the leading countries from 1996, 1994. Is it 1994 or 1996 down to 2016? So now these are the little things that I really want to show you. So another thing that you might want to look at is that another beautiful thing I want to show you. Let me just show you something beautiful here. So there's something called animated barres. Animated barres is not part of your visualization. You have to go and click. Can you see get more visual? Yeah, you have to click that to be able to see animated barres. So now I want to be able to see the countries. Where are my countries? Countries is here. Now in the countries, I want to be able to see the total medals. Let's say there are medals over the year. Can you see? How beautiful is this? So now let me just edit them. Let me just format it a little bit. I want it to be slower. It's so fast. Let me see. Yeah. So can you see it? So for every year, it is going and it's trying to tell you, oh, these are the country leading at a particular period of time. Then it goes and you begin to see how they are leading one to another. So this is called the animated barres. Animated barres. If you have more questions, begin to ask the questions while I try to finish up so that we can have question and answers also. Begin to continue to ask your question. So let's start cleaning it up. Maybe we can just start cleaning it up and just make it more beautiful. So you might bring in a logo. So if you want to bring in a logo, so let me just start making it as beautiful as possible. So while you bring in your questions, yeah, it's really lovely. So it gives you so many insights immediately. Just gives you insight immediately. Oh, this person was actually leading them. Before you know, this person, oh, this country is now leading and stuff like that. So it makes you see so many things, and you begin to you even like the visualization more. So now, so let's bring in a logo. So this is a logo. So we are bringing in the logo, just a simple logo. You can bring in a text. So I'm trying to rearrange everything now after telling you the things. So we want to rearrange them and make it makes a little bit of sense in this report. So we call it the Olympic Olympic analysis, something like that. So so we just bold it. You can change it to any color that you want to change it to. Then after that, you can increase it down to, let's say, 28, something like this. And you can drag it up. So now this is where the work really started, and because you need to start designing. I know we'll not go a whole lot in depth into designing. And one cool thing about designing is that is individual. Some people can be better designer than better when it comes to analysis. So it's something that really is not something that has to do with, oh, I'm good in design, I'm not good in design. No. You learn it. You just learn it a day at a time. So it's good for me to have slicers. I like having slicers for me because it helps me analyze better. So for me, I prefer having slicers. So I can have like 3-4 slicers, so that I want to see like I want to be able to see the different things that I have. So remember that we not even analyze by different spots. So you might want to analyze by spot. This is region. So, and the region, remember, region is not really region, it's actually called country. So you might want to be able to change that to be country. So we have country here. We have our sex is here, and I can do control. So control C and control V works actually in Power BI. So instead of me recreating and be clicking my visual pane, I can just, since the visual is there already, I can just go and change it to spots and have spots there. So can you see it now? So now this is 3 visualizations that three, what do we call it now? 3 slicers that we have. Then I can now put all my card visuals. I will now put them below. Now you have to try to make sure that you align them in a better way. So this total record might not make sense. Like, what is meaning of total record? So now, so it's not, I'm just not teaching you Power BI. So you have to make sure that when somebody is seeing it, they are able to understand what you are typing and the things that you have. So I have them as total participants, unique participants. So when you say unique, you understand unique. When you say total, you understand the total. So then we have our gold, we have our bronze. So you can actually still reduce a little bit, stuff like that, reduce a little bit, and you have this. So you can actually pick each one of them. You go to drill format. You're going to see align, then you align horizontal. So you align very well, and you align top. So this way is so easy for you. So you definitely know that they are the same. They're on the same level. So can you see it? And this is where analysis comes in. So I can now slice by different countries and say, okay, so now let's go to Nigeria. Since we are in Nigeria, Let's go to Nigeria and say, okay, let's know what even Nigeria is saying. So let me go and look for Nigeria. Okay, Nigeria. So can you see right now? Nigeria, 319 people have participated in Nigeria. Then we have 23 gold, 36 bronze, and 22 silver. Oh, silver should come before gold. So these are little things that you have to keep in mind when doing your analysis. Like, oh, okay, so stuff like this. So this is simple. This is just what Nigeria have done so far in Olympic. So something like that. So you might want to just, these are the things that you can look out for when doing your analysis. So this analysis has to do with since 1995, I think it's 1995. Let me see, let me be sure. Okay, 1994. So it's 1994. So you can just come in here, then you say to date, and you can reduce everything so that it fits. So if you have questions, please ask questions as I'm running.
So please, what is the visualization for those country?
Slicer.
Yeah.
Slicer.
Okay.
Yeah. So now, and also you start, you can bring in the shadow, you can increase your borderline. Yeah, something like this. So you increase shadow, borderline. Then, so like this now, it means that you have to be very sure of the sizes. So you have to be very sure of your sizes. So some things like this. Yeah. So you have to be sure of the sizes and making sure that they are beautiful and you can actually so the goal is also is that you are telling a story. What is the story are you trying to tell? So if you're not trying to tell a story, then there's a big issue. So you have to know that you're trying to tell a story. So something like that. So good. So if you look at this now, you can also do the same thing, align. So you aligning them is better because it means that, oh, okay, good, that you're good to go. So something like this. So I can still shift this a little bit. So something like this. So something like this. So now you're looking at it and you're saying, okay, so what are these are medals in different region. So you might want to look at it and you might want to analyze them. So it just depends on how you're trying to analyze. Oh, I spelled bad way. Okay, so something like this, and you're trying to be very now. This is now where you're trying to be sure of what you're doing and say, okay, fine. So is this presentable for visualization and stuff like that? So so this is it, and we're gonna say, okay, fine. Let's just do all time, because let's just do all time since we have all the whole data set. So we can cancel this, and we have an all-time analysis. So something like this, we have an all-time analysis. So good. So can we copy and do the borderline across board? Yes. So when you do one, it's better for you to do one card visual, make it as clean as possible. Then just Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V and start adding the normal type of any other type of calculations that you're trying to do. So that is the way, so that it doesn't waste your time really. So something like that is cool for you. So you just do it that way. So you have your year visuals and stuff like that. Another thing that you might want to look at, the next thing is that, okay, I want to be able to see which type of competition is actually giving us the medals. So we want to see the medals itself, which competition are actually giving us medals. So we want to see by medals. Let's assume that we want to see this. Good. Something like this. Yeah. So now you can see that it is athletics that is giving us so many of the medals. You can see it that way. Athletics gives us so many of the medals. And you might want to say, okay, fine. Let me put in the data labels. So something like this, and we are good to go. So you just have to know what you're trying to do. And when you know what you're trying to do, so it's so easy for you to be able to now start saying, okay, fine. I want to be able to now create my medals. I want to be able to create it. So you can also split this one that we did here. You can actually split it by so many things. I want to see the gold itself. I want to see the let's say I want to see the gold, the silver, and everything. Yeah, we can. So how do we do that? So we can bring in gold, silver, and bronze, and cancel this guy. Good. So now the next thing is that how do we know gold? So you can see, oh, count of each. I didn't say count of each. Bronze. Okay, cool. So now let's delete this guy. So you can see now our gold is blue, silver is this, and we can see our bronze is the last one. So something as simple as this. So it just gives you an in-depth analysis of what you're looking for. And you can still do your top end. Yeah, and say, oh, I want to see, okay, let's say the top 5. I want to see top 5 by all medals. Simple like that. Can you see? Top 5 by all medals. So it's as simple as this. As simple as this. So you always have title. You can always plot your title, yeah, and you can always change your title. Just always know you can always change your title. Medals. Let's say we said our top 5 medals. Okay, good. So now, how do you know the visualization to use? So it is, what interpretation are you trying to do? That is the next question that you want to look at. What interpretation are you trying to do? If you know the interpretation, then it's easier for you to know your visuals. And again, is that the more you play with visuals, the more you know which visual to use. You can't just know it in the data. I say, oh, bar chart is used for this. Yeah, bar chart is just simple. Bar chart is used for giving you the record by any category. This medal by country is a bar chart. But the next question that you want to ask is that, is it really giving you what you really want? If it's giving you what you want, yeah, cool, that is fine. So you have to be able to know, okay, is this giving you what you want? So it is what you are trying to interpret that you work with. What are you trying to interpret? If you get that, then you're good. So I think that is what you should look at. That's what you should look at. Don't look at oh, let me just play with any visuals. Your visual should interpret what you want. I want everybody to be able to see the number of gold that we have used across time, that has been gotten across time, and the medals and everything. So something like this. This is as simple as this is a simple report. So when we begin to now start playing by different countries, we can start playing by countries. You want to play now by, oh, okay, how many females? What are the females getting? So you can start playing with females. That's why it's always good for you to have data labels across them here. So we're going to put data labels there. Then I think that will finish everything up for what we've done so far. So I don't know if you have more question please, you can ask. If you have more question, you can ask. If you have more questions, you can ask. So as simple as it is now, you can be able to now build your reports. Yeah, can be able to build your reports. And so far that, and this is what we have. So ask question, when do we use drill down? So drill down is at the point at which that you want to be able to go in depth into what you are trying to look out for. So now let's assume that I have this country right now. So if there are different levels of analysis, that is where drill down is good. So let's assume that we have year, we have months, we have days, or something like that. So it makes more sense for you to use drill down. So if I do a normal calculation, so let's see if there is an opportunity for us to see a drill down in action. So let's see. Let's see. Medals. Okay, so really I can't see really any opportunity here for us to use drill down, but drill down is just, you're just trying to say I want to go deep, something like that. So it's just like that. So let's assume that we have a line chart. Let me see if I can pull it off. We have a line chart that has here. Let me see. Yeah. Let me pick here. And we have total record. Something like this. Sort by year and sort by ascending. So now we have something like this. And we want to now say, okay, we want to be able to drill down by, let's see if it's going to work out fine. So good. So, but you see that here is more scattered. So because of different countries. So now it's really, is just when you need to be able to say, okay, is it working out fine? So you want to be able to drill down by, go in depth, go down into an analysis. But when there are really not too much of things to look out for, really you don't need to drill down. But drill down comes in when you have three levels of analysis that you want to drill down into it. So let's say you have month, year, and quarter. You want to drill down. That is level, something like that. That is what you look out for. So that is it. If you understand it, I hope you get it. So something like that. So okay. So if you have more questions, let me see. We have 6 more minutes for my own time. Okay.
So if I just go through
Sorry.
that differentiation of the sport by medal, how did you do it that it was showing the gold, silver, and bronze? How did you do that?
No, I've done a Dax calculation on its own already, and I showed the Dax calculation. So I have done the Dax calculation already so I filtered it out from the column itself. So if you look here, let me just type gold in search. So this is a calculation already.
Okay.
So this is a calculation. So I've brought it out already. So that was easy for me to bring them, to put them like this, in this way. So I now know the number of gold, the number of silver, and the number of bronze. So if I'm calculating, I just say calculate, count the medals. But when you're counting this medal in this column, make sure that you count only what? Gold. You just replicate it again and change this gold to silver. It's going to work for silver. You replicate it and change it to bronze. It's just going to work for bronze. So that's just what I did.
Okay, thank you.
So that, yeah, fine. So that is it. Okay, so thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the class. If you enjoyed the class, you can do something for me. What I want is that the report, the data, you already know where the data is. I want you to be able to create a report this night and tweet at me or put it on LinkedIn and tell me, oh, this is the Olympic data set that we've been able to work on. So I want to see what you've done so far. Thank you very much and have a wonderful evening. Is anybody here among the planning team here? Destiny?
Yeah, hello, hello. Can anyone hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, great. I don't know if Destiny is here. I'll just take it up. All right, thank you very much, David. Thank you very much for that section. I believe we learned a lot. So, like you said, please kindly make a tweet, or you can probably make a post on LinkedIn to share, to just do what he asked us to do. All right, so we're going to be moving up right now. Um, hello, Oma. Are you